You know something interesting about human history? Every generation believes they're living through the most chaotic time ever. Wars, economic crises, political instability. It always feels like the world is falling apart. It feels shocking. It feels unpredictable. But if you step back and look at history, you start noticing something uncomfortable. This chaos is actually normal. Empires rise, they expand, they struggle to maintain control, and eventually, many of them collapse. And when they collapse, they often follow very similar patterns. Right now, many analysts believe Russia might be moving along a path that has destroyed powerful empires before, and surprisingly, one of the strongest historical comparisons isn't the Soviet Union. It's Imperial China. The Qing dynasty was one of the richest and most powerful empires in the world. For centuries, it dominated huge regions and believed its power would last forever. But the empire didn't fall overnight. It weakened slowly, and then suddenly, one of the biggest turning points happened when the Qing government stopped being able to reliably pay its soldiers. And that changed everything. When soldiers stop getting paid, they don't just quietly walk away. History shows that unpaid soldiers often become one of the biggest threats to the governments they once served. They are trained, armed, and angry, which is a dangerous combination for any ruling power. And this is where modern Russia enters the story. Throughout history, soldiers usually fall into two major categories. The first type is ideological soldiers. These are soldiers who truly believe in their country, their leadership, or their national mission. Money helps support their families, but it's not the main reason they fight. The second type is incentive-driven soldiers. These soldiers are heavily motivated by pay, bonuses, and financial rewards. Their loyalty often depends on whether those rewards continue. Many people assume Russian soldiers belong to the first group. They imagine strong patriotic loyalty similar to Soviet-era ideology. But Russia's own recruitment strategies tell a very different story. Instead of relying mostly on forced conscription, Russia has heavily relied on offering extremely high signing bonuses, large salaries, and major financial compensation to families if soldiers die in combat. And here's the key detail. Whenever Russia reduces these financial incentives, recruitment numbers drop dramatically. That suggests that money plays a much bigger role in military motivation than ideology. The Russian government understands this risk very clearly. That's why they prioritize paying soldiers above almost everything else, even if it harms the rest of their economy. But Russia is now facing a serious balancing act, and on one side, military bonuses and recruitment incentives are being reduced in some regions. On the other side, the government is publicly claiming that Russia's economy is strong and stable, and one of their biggest arguments is that Russia holds massive gold reserves. And psychologically, this creates a dangerous contradiction. Imagine working at a company that announces record profits every year, but at the same time, your salary gets cut. You don't need someone to explain why that would create frustration. It just happens naturally. And something very similar may be happening inside Russian society right now. Soldiers and civilians are being told that the economy is strong, while they personally experience rising costs and reduced financial incentives. Now, Russia constantly highlights one major strength, which is gold. Russia holds one of the largest gold reserves in the world, and recently, global gold prices have reached extremely high levels. On paper, this makes Russia look financially secure and capable of sustaining long-term conflict. But there is a huge problem hiding behind this image. Gold is only valuable if you can actually sell it and convert it into money that can be used in your economy. And because of international sanctions, Russia cannot freely sell gold on global markets. Most international buyers avoid Russian gold completely because dealing with it could lead to financial penalties or being cut off from global banking systems. So, Russia is left with very limited options. They can sell gold to certain international traders, but usually at heavy discounts. They can sell gold domestically to Russian citizens, which helps slightly, but doesn't strengthen international purchasing power. And they can sell gold to China, which sounds helpful, but actually creates another major problem. When China buys Russian gold, they often pay using Chinese currency, the yuan, instead of Russian rubles. And this creates a serious economic challenge. Russia needs rubles to pay soldiers and maintain domestic stability. But if Russia receives yuan, they can mostly use that money only to buy Chinese goods. This slowly pushes Russia into economic dependence on China. Russia becomes more reliant on China for food, industrial materials, electronics, and even military components. And when one country becomes heavily dependent on another, the stronger partner usually gains pricing power. That means China can influence costs, supply levels, and trade conditions in ways that benefit itself, while Russia loses flexibility. So, yes, Russia still has large gold reserves, but their ability to turn that gold into real economic strength is far more limited than it appears. Russia can continue selling gold, but often at discounted prices, while becoming more dependent on China and receiving only temporary financial relief instead of long-term stability. At the same time, Russia still faces rising military costs, inflation pressure, and challenges maintaining strong recruitment incentives. And this combination creates long-term stress that has historically caused serious problems for many empires, not because those empires lacked resources, but because they struggled to convert resources into stability and loyalty. Now, no one knows exactly how the Russia-Ukraine conflict will end. History doesn't predict exact outcomes, but history does reveal repeating patterns. And one of the most dangerous moments for any empire begins when economic pressure increases, military loyalty becomes financially fragile, and the government's public messaging stops matching people's everyday experiences. When those conditions appear, collapse doesn't always happen immediately. Sometimes it takes years, but history shows that these moments often mark the beginning of serious, long-term decline. And if history has taught us anything, it's that even the most powerful empires are not immune to these patterns. If you found this analysis interesting, make sure to subscribe. Because understanding global events isn't just about watching the news, it's about understanding the historical patterns that shape the world we live in.